If you're looking for me, you can find me. Pimpin' getting riches, grinding. And ain't no use in even trying me. 45 piece beside me. Now let the church say amen again. Church say amen again. Church say amen again. Purse first, ass last, get your bag and win.
What's up, people? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's your boy E-Man, Coach E-Man, or just simply Emmanuel, with another episode of the More Life Podcast. So, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So, I'm actually doing a podcast series on sexual assault. I have 3 upcoming episodes, and today will be the first episodes. The episodes are titled Kissing Cousins. Episode 2 will be called Family Secrets. And episode 3 will be called Passion Aggression, Intimate Partner Sexual Assault. So I'm just doing my part to bring awareness to sexual assault because we have so many victims, male and female, that have, been sexually assaulted. We have so many that have not even spoken about it and have been holding things in and just dealing with it and trying to grow through it for years. So like I said, today's episode is titled Kissing Cousins. And what I mean by that is we all grew up as kids, with those cousins. And let's just be honest, we hunched, we did things like that, right? You had cousins who were hunching, we played games like hide and go get it and stuff like that. So I'm actually gonna bring awareness to my story. Something that happened to me that I didn't even realize was happening, that I grew to like, what I'm saying, as a kid. And what I mean by that is, like, I was molested, right? But I didn't know that I was being molested. And what I mean by that is, like, it didn't hurt, I didn't get smacked, things like that. Like, it just some things that happened, those kissing cousins, you know what I mean? Like, you start off hunching each other, you start off, touching each other here and there, I've heard many people talk about the story of how it happened to them, and you don't realize that you're being programmed, right? And the person that's doing it don't even probably realize that they're programming you, and they were probably programmed because somebody may have done it to them. And next thing you know, you go from hunching to touching to maybe even, doing some sort of intercourse with each other, right? So that leads to my story. And I guess I'll just start by saying, like I said, I didn't realize I was being molested. I didn't know it was molestation. I just thought we were kids being kids, right? And so it wasn't until I saw Antwone Fisher, but I was older, and I saw the movie Antwone Fisher. And in the movie, there's a scene where it wasn't his cousin, I don't know who it was, go to the foster home. They left, the lady took the 2 boys and they went to wherever they went. And she came downstairs, she smacked Antwone, and she told him to get in the basement. And then she told him to unzip your pants, take them all off. And then she molested him, I don't know what they did, but she molested him. Then you see in the movie, he comes running out the house with his shirt off. He taking off, boom, 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 boom. Well, that happened to me in a way that like I said, I didn't get slapped. I didn't get forced into it. It was something that, honestly, I'm gonna be real, I grew to like. One of my cousins did it to me. I won't say any names. I love this cousin to death because we're grown, we're adults now. And like I said, I didn't realize the magnitude of what was going on and how it would affect me. But we used to hunch each other. We used to touch each other and things like that. And I remember 2 times in particular. One, we were in the basement at a house. I'm not gonna say whose house, but we were in the basement at a house. Well, she was watching me. Then we went in the basement at a house. And I remember the touching, the kissing, the rubbing, like all of that, the hunching. Like I really remember that. Not vaguely, but I really remember that, And then another time I remember spent the night at the house. And we were all in the same bed and we were sleeping right beside each other. And she woke me up out of my sleep. And we started hunching, and kissing and touching and doing all that stuff then. And another time, this is three, so I remember three. We were at my grandmother's house, and this may have been me, like, and I think I may have initiated this one, because now I got groomed and used to liking it. So I thought this is what we do when we get alone. This is what we do, So I remember at my grandma's house, we went upstairs and we kissed, we touched, and all that type of stuff. But what I didn't understand, as I got older, how it would affect me. And it affected me with my relationships with women. And not only that, so let me go back. Not only that, because I had an uncle, and I love my uncle to death. And he took me to some houses before as a kid, and grown women would allow me to rub on their breasts, rub on their legs, and stuff like that. And this one time in particular, a friend of my mom's, she saw it while I was in the house and with my uncle, and she ended up saying something to me, saying gets my uncle. Then she ended up telling my mom, what happened, and of course I got a whooping, right? But I didn't realize all of that was trauma. All of that caused some things inside me, right? And so as I get older, now I see why at certain times, if I liked the girl and I was into her and I got what I want out, I didn't want it no more, right? So I went through that phase, man, of just having sex, like just being real. Like I went to that phase of meeting a girl, talk to a girl. If I met you Monday and we had sex by Friday, you ain't hear from me no more, no text, no nothing. Like I would literally act like I didn't know you at all, like you were nothing to me, even that, or if we just did oral sex, I ain't want nothing else from you, like, and I didn't realize where that came from or why I would be so into a girl or so into a person. Then once we did what we did, I didn't care for her no more. I didn't like her no more. I didn't even want to see her or talk to her no more. But I didn't realize, that stuff right there was a part of me and my sexual relationship growing up because, this is what I did, and it just what it was, and we went back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm rubbing on grown women breasts, I'm rubbing on grown women legs and things like that, So mentally, I guess I was messed up. I don't know, but like I say, I didn't know that was a part of molestation, but it happened, right? I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. Like I didn't even think it affected me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I hear molestation, I'm thinking some uncles messing with nieces and nephews, or some uncles messing with little boys, or grown women messing with little boys. So that's when I hear molestation. That's what I thought about. But honestly, that was a form of molestation. What we were doing with one another. Yeah, we thought it was fun. Yeah, we thought it was cool. Yeah, we thought we were even supposed to do it. But then that led me to understand that she was doing that to me because somebody did that to her. And it's nothing but a repeated cycle, a cycle that has to be finished, a cycle that needs to be cut off, but that was nothing but a repeated cycle. So what she would have me do and what I got used to doing with her, like I said, somebody did it to her. Who did it to her? I don't know. We've talked about this since, and like I said, I love her to death. But she ended up hinting that something happened to her. Now that we're adults, she hinted that something happened to her. I think just me. I think it was somebody close to her who did something to her. That's just me. When I think about, what went on back then in our days and what went on back, growing up, I really believe it was somebody close to her that was doing something to her, and she started doing that, stuff to me. And again, like I said, I thought that's what we were supposed to do, so I did it. Hey man, let's go. Okay. Then I got to the point where, like I said, I thought this is what we do when we're alone. When we get alone, this is what we do. We go off, we kiss, we punch, we pull up, take our clothes off, we rub, we rub skins together, like we do all that. Like that's what I thought, but that's not what it should have been. That's not what should have happened. Should I have said something? Yeah, I should. But again, I didn't know what it was. And in the Black household, that's not talked about a lot, molestation and all that's not talked about. You don't hear families say, well, such and such did this, you need to stay away from such and such. We have a lot of secrets in the Black household, where things have happened. Fathers have done things to their children. Like I said, aunts and uncles, they have done things to kids and nothing is talked about. So we're not educated, on if somebody touches you here, you need to say something. That's not, nobody's not supposed to touch you there. A man shouldn't touch you here. A woman shouldn't touch you. You shouldn't be touching on your cousins. You shouldn't be touching on other women. Again, we weren't taught that in the Black household. We were already being raised in trauma with gangs, guns, drugs. You might have been in a household where your mom and dad, all they did was fight. So things like that, or your mom and dad were on drugs and things like that. So we're already going through trauma, and then we're having some more trauma put on top of that, and nobody is there to educate us, to talk to us, to teach us about what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, they said y'all don't be hunching your cousins. What's that? That's not telling us, really the magnitude of why we shouldn't be doing it, why we shouldn't be touching each other, why we shouldn't be alone in the closet, alone in the basement, alone in the room together. That's not really telling us why. Just saying don't do it. And I'm not gonna say our parents failed us or anything like that. It's just a different era. A different era of what was going on, a different era of what was happening. And like I said, if it wasn't for me even watching that movie and seeing that scene, it was crazy because when I saw the scene, my mind literally just went back, to everything that has happened to me. And I never told anybody about it. I ended up telling my brother and a cousin, but how we talked about it, we were drinking and we had one of those moments, and it came out, but I've never really told anybody about it. I believe I told my wife about it, but I never really told anybody, the magnitude of it or what happened. She doesn't know who it is, because I'm not in the blast game. I'm not trying to blast anybody for what it is. I just know that affected me in a lot of ways, growing up on top of other things that I was dealing with and growing up with. That was something else that affected me, and let's just be honest. So sexually, I was a very active kid at a young age, even in elementary school, we were running and hunching girls and rubbing on booties and rubbing on titties. But again, that was something that was already programmed in me, and possibly the other boys that were doing it and the little girls, we were sexualized. So we started sexualizing each other. And it's not talked about much. The only thing different is I wasn't, like most who ended up losing their virginity early. Well, I did lose my virginity at 15, but I mean, like early, like 12, 13. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I knew a girl who got pregnant by a grown man. Now what is a grown man doing hollering at a 12, 13-year-old girl in the 7th grade? Yes. So that's what I mean by, okay, I didn't lose my virginity early. Like I was the last in my crew to even lose my virginity. And the crazy part about it is they thought that I was the one who wasn't a virgin by how I would act and how I would talk. But no, I was a virgin. I was the last one in my crew to do it. Like I said, I was 15, when I finally did the do, and yeah. But no, before then it was just the hunching, it was the kissing, it was the touching, it was the rubbing, it was, kiss here, it was the kiss there. But again, it was taught to me and it became programmed in me that this is okay. This is what I should do because I was doing it with my cousin. And even though now as an adult, you think about it and say like, that's nasty. As kids, you're not thinking that it's nasty. This is just what kids do, is what we thought, we hunch, we kiss, we touch, we rub, we play hide and go get it, you hide, we find you, we get it, whatever you get to us, like that's just what we thought. But no, we were programming ourselves, we were sexualizing ourselves, we were really messing ourselves up with that, we didn't understand how that was messing up our mindset. And that's another reason why you had so many girls getting pregnant at young ages. That's why you had so many girls messing with older dudes, and then even us boys, some of us, while we were attracted to older women. I love older women, but again, that was because when I was with my uncle, I'm rubbing on titties, I'm rubbing on legs, and these older women are letting me do it because they looking at, oh, he's just being a harmless little boy, when they should have been stopping me from doing that. So now I'm 10, 11, 12 years old. I want an older woman. I'm seeing these moms like, boy, this boy mama fine. I want her. And being honest, I ain't getting no hard or whatever, but program, a form of trauma. We were messed up, and it started at a young age. And so, how did I heal from that? I don't know. Because again, I didn't know that that was a form of molestation. So I don't know how I truly healed. How am I trying to heal? I'm trying to heal by, like I said, I talked to the cousin about it one night because it got back to her, because the cousin that I did tell, he ran his mouth and told her, because when he get drunk, he get loose lips, and if he listen, he know who I'm talking about. But I love him to death, and we talked about it, and vaguely she could remember some things. She couldn't remember some things. And like I told her, I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I didn't even realize that was molestation. I didn't realize that was something that we weren't supposed to do until I got older, you know. And I held that in. Like my sister doesn't know, my brothers don't know, my mom and dad don't know, nobody really knows, know that, but like I said, I saw that movie. I saw it a few times though, so let me just say that it wasn't just me seeing it once, like I saw it a few times, but the moment I realized, like, damn, this shouldn't have happened. Whenever Antoine Fisher came out, I think I seen it maybe a year later, I think. But then I was like, dang, that shouldn't have happened. But I never said anything to nobody. That was just something I kept in internally. And as I got older, and I got around friends who have been molested by their uncles, who were molested by their cousins. Some were females and some were men. Some, I'm cool with some dudes who literally were molested by their uncles or their big cousins that were men. And then, I started to be able to, okay, so we can talk about it, and I was trying to learn, about how it affected them. And I was trying to learn why they are the way they are, and why they like what they like. Because with them, it started out harmless. Hunch, kiss, touch. But with them, it just went deeper to where now they were making them do real sexual acts. Put this in here, hold you down, make you do this and make you do that you didn't want to do. And then they got to the point where they knew it was going to happen anyway, so they just did it. And some even told family members. Black household, African American, households. That got shunned away. Instead of dealing with it and saying this shouldn't have happened to you, it was more, we gonna throw it in the closet. That's why I say episode 2, family secrets, because we just put that in the closet and we kept it as a family secret, and they still let that uncle or that cousin or that aunt or that niece or that nephew still come around the family when they should have been able to handle that situation and say they can't come around. You can't come around. We have to fix this. But that didn't happen. And then a lot of us, we didn't know we should tell that this is going on. I didn't know I should have said that this was happening. I thought it was fun and games. I was that kid who watched Cinemax, those shows on Cinemax late at night, watched the shows on HBO late at night, watched those shows on Showtime late at night. So I really didn't know the magnitude of what was going on. I just knew at a young age, I liked sex. I like to see titties. I like to see booties. Like, I like that, but now I know why. And now I know how it did affect me, even in relationships, with me even trusting women, like it was hard for me to me not even trusting with me being vulnerable. Like, it's hard for me to be vulnerable, but that was the reason why. Like, it's hard to be vulnerable. Like, it does something to me, but how am I trying to heal? Taking it one day at a time, prayer, and just realizing that even though I didn't know or even understand the magnitude of what happened, it happened. And even though I may feel like, well, nah, I wasn't really molested, I was. Because I kissed places I shouldn't have kissed. I hunched places I shouldn't have hunched, bare skin, but it is what it is. Now, I have to grow through it. I have to go through it. I have to, really dive deep into understanding like, okay, so these were triggers. This is what happened and why I was the way I am, or was the way I was when it came to women that I liked, when it came to women that I dated, and things like that. Why I can't sleep, I can't sleep naked. I don't like to be naked, only in the shower. After that, I don't like to be naked. Like being naked bothers me, understanding that like I hate being naked. I might have sex naked, but then I put clothes back on. I can't sleep naked. I can't lie down naked. I take a shower, then I draw from my hurt and put clothes on. Like I don't like being naked, and stuff like that, But I'm saying a lot too. I know ain't I? But that's what happened to me, and everybody's story is different, everybody's story is totally different, but I'm giving some people a platform to really come on and tell their story and how it affected them, how they went forward, how they healed, how they grown, and what they're doing now to bring awareness to sexual assault, because sexual assault is real. Like, I don't care if we want to believe it is, if we want to say, well, you shouldn't have put yourselves in that predicament. You don't know what a person is going to do to you, even if you go hang out with a person, even if you meet a person, and you don't know what they're going to do, and some people expectations, they don't expect for people to do bad things, but it happens, even in family, that's why my son can't go to everybody's house. I have to know the parent. I have to know the child. I have to know the family member. And I tell my son, ain't nobody supposed to touch you, here or there. If they show you something, if they show you their penis, if they show you their titties, they show you their girl part, you let somebody know. Nobody's supposed to touch you. Nobody, you're not supposed to touch anybody. And if they're doing that to you, you let me know. Or you let somebody know that this is happening, this is going on, and I promise you, it's gonna get handled. It's not gonna get looked over. We're not gonna say, oh, they're just cousins or kids are being kids. It's a time out for that. It's 2024. Kids are being sex trafficked. Kids are being raped, molested, all of that. It's a time out, for not knowing what's going on with your child, who they're with, and if something happened, why they did it. And even to that cousin that I talked about, she raised her kids, and they didn't really go to people's houses and things like that. That's another reason why I know something happened to her. They don't really go to other people's houses and things like that. Like, you have to be a trusted friend and a trusted family member. I have a friend in Arkansas, same way. My kids can't come to your house. I have to know you. I have to know that you're not gonna hurt them. I have to know that you're not gonna put them in any bad situation. And that's a lot of people, that's how a lot of us should be nowadays, But again, things that happened to us at a young age that we didn't speak on, and that we thought was just fun and kids being kids, or that we may have even expressed and family said, get out of here with that, has affected us in parenting to say, not my child. It may have happened to me, but not my child, And I tell my son, I'll be messing with these little girls. He's in the 3rd grade. He's starting to like girls. I'll be messing with these little girls. He said a girl wanted to kiss him. He was like, nah, man, thank you. Don't kiss that little girl at school. Don't go hide off and be like I did when I was in the 3rd grade. I used to go to the library, me and these 2 girls, we used to go to the library and kiss and stuff like that. That's not things we should be doing. That's not things that he should be doing. And he said the girl wanted to kiss. He didn't do it. I told him, no, that's not something you do. That is, leave it alone. I'm glad you told me. I'm glad we talked about it. Keep your distance from that girl. She may not know, the magnitude of what's going on, but let's say he kissed that girl and they get caught, and the girl says Kyle has forced himself on her. Now we have a whole another situation, and things like that. So that's why I tell them, I talked to him about that and I told him, no, don't do that because I don't want nothing to happen to him and I don't want nothing to happen to any other person's child. But this is gonna be a two-part series, I do believe. I have two more people that will be coming on part two of this episode, and they'll be able to tell their story of what went on with them and their cousins. And I believe both of them didn't get a chance to tell their family what happened and what went on. They kind of just kept it to themselves. But so they'll be on and they'll just express and talk about what happened, how it affected them, and if they are healing or if they're trying to heal. But other than that, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope this will help bring others to come out and tell their story and say, man, this happened to me too. Man, I didn't realize this was happening. I thought this was supposed to happen, but now I see that it wasn't. You know, hit me up, man. We can talk about it. Or if you want to get on air, we can talk about it, man. But I want to encourage more people, especially Black men, to come out, tell their story, and don't be ashamed of what happened, how it happened, when it happened. Understand that people have your back and people are in your corner. Y'all be easy.